Sue, it's hard for me to keep track of what states matter in this election. I mean, the candidates have been using some weird strategies to win in this hellscape we call a presidential election. Did you see that the president made a surprise trip to Maine this weekend?
Yes, listen, our entire election is a weird strategy. The Electoral College, no one else uses it. It's just something we made up and now we do it. So yes, he went to Maine because they actually have Electoral College votes that he might be able to get.
Obviously, the candidates love New Hampshire. We're important every 4 years. We used to have an old man in the mountain. We're first in the nation, baby. But why focus on Maine right now? I mean, I've been there many times, and I'm convinced that their economy is basically moving lobsters and antiques back and forth, just trading the two back and forth.
Well, if it works for you, go for it, right? So Maine, a blue state that has 4 electoral college votes, but it's not a winner-take-all state. There are only 2 of them. Nebraska is the other. We're going to get to that in a minute. They use something called the congressional district method, which I won't explain here, but you can Google it. So there is a chance for Trump to get some points from Maine, and that's why he's going there. Plus, they're also a ranked choice voting state, which you can also Google. But also importantly, they have a competitive Senate race, maybe the most competitive and important Senate race in the country. That's Republican Senator Susan Collins in the fight for her life against challenger Sarah Gideon. It's a nail-biter. And remember, when Trump goes to visit, the idea is because he's a Republican and the president, he's going to help Susan Collins, and she definitely needs all the help she can get. He wants to win. He wants her to win so that he can enforce and enact his agenda with the support from the Senate.
So Maine's the main squeeze. But what about these states like North Carolina, Wisconsin? I don't remember them being swing states. I thought that was Florida and Ohio. Is Nebraska even a state? Because I'm not even convinced that exists.
It is a state. I've actually been there. I once spent a month there over 4 days. It's a delightful place. And again, like I mentioned, Nebraska is not a winner-take-all state, so there are 5 electoral college votes, some of which could be picked up by Trump. Biden is leading the polls in North Carolina, which also has a competitive Senate race, 15 electoral college votes. And Wisconsin seems to be too good to be true right now for Joe Biden. He's got a huge lead in the polls, which people, of course, don't believe because they have post-traumatic stress disorder from the last election. But remember, the Supreme Court also recently ruled that Wisconsin mail-in ballots have to be received on Election Day. That's throwing the state into a tizzy. They're also terribly in the middle of a COVID surge. But the bigger picture here is that while the Trump campaign is going to Nebraska and Maine for their 4 and 5 electoral votes, Biden going to Texas, a red state with 38 electoral votes. Georgia, also a red state with 16. They think they have a shot to win, or in the least, they have an ability to help the Senate race there to turn blue even if he doesn't win. And also, Biden wants to run up the score. If he wins, he wants to make sure that his 270 electoral college votes or more is also supported by a huge popular vote, so that if Trump says the vote was illegitimate or wrong, he has an argument to say, no, it wasn't.
So Trump's on defense, Biden's on offense, and I'm not going to give you a sports analogy because I'm a nerd, but let's try Dungeons and Dragons. In this case, it's like Trump is rolling a bunch of saving throws and Biden's out there just finishing the side quest to get his character to the highest level so that everybody knows that he is legit.
Trump is working to get every single crumb possible in order to put together that 270, while the campaign of Biden, which has tons of money, more money than Trump, is out trying to run the board and get as many votes as humanly possible. 2 different strategies, but both going toward the same goal.
And you know, it's an extra effort, a little extra. It's something that Hillary Clinton didn't do, and we all know how that turned out. You can't beat the Dungeon Dragon if you aren't putting experience points into dexterity to dodge its fire blast, am I right?
Again, I have no idea what you're saying, Rob, but if this were Star Trek, I would tell you that the Senate races are important, and the Federation would want to make first contact before the Klingons in order to bring that Senate into the Federation. How's that?
That's good. Everybody is just scraping for whatever they can get, and we'll see how it plays out for them. In the meantime, I'm going to be hauling myself up to Maine to get some lobster and trade it for an old antique chair, just back and forth.
And I'm going to tell people that if you have a mail-in ballot, do not mail it. Take it yourself to vote or vote in person. Do not mail your ballot. It's too late. Make every vote count.